The following audio dub is made with the permission of the original author Mandroid. Please, support the original production by following the link in the description below. Otherwise, me and Mous are going to be just so disappointed in you. Thank you.
Wake up in the morning feeling kind of shitty. You pick yourself up as you try and stretch your protesting muscles out. Mous is sprawled out on the ground, his mouth open in a silent snore. The sound of hooves descending stairs catches your attention, and you turn around to see Twilight walking downstairs with Spike following her. The little guy still looked exhausted. With one look at Mous, she turns to you.
Does he always sleep like this?
You chuckle as you start to rise.
Yeah, he'll be fine. We just need to get him up.
You say as you take a few steps towards Mous's head. Twilight walks up beside you and gets a closer look at your comatose friend.
Will that be hard?
Nah, this'll be easy.
You crouch down to a couple feet from Mous's face and snap your fingers.
Hey, wake up, dude. We have to get to work.
Mous's eyelids shoot open as he darts his eyes back and forth around the room. In a second, they've settled on you and Twilight staring at him.
Yeah, I'm up.
Twilight notices the haggard state the two of you are in from sleeping on the floor.
I'm sorry about the sleeping condition. I know it couldn't have been the best.
It's fine, Twilight. The pillows and blankets help a lot. Right, Mous?
With a yawn, his gaze drops to your miniature host.
Yeah, thanks for those.
Even Mous knows not to be grumpy to someone who let you sleep in her house before fixing up your own, even at this hour. Placated, Twilight magicked over some sort of bag and placed it on her back before she led the two of you out of her home. You can actually appreciate her house in the daylight, a hollowed-out tree with balconies and windows. It felt like something you would see at a theme park. As you walk after Twilight, she asks if either of you are hungry. The both of you having not eaten since you arrive, you heartily agree. She takes you both to a building that looks like a gingerbread house. Even the icing on top looks like it could be eaten. The first thing you notice when you walk in is the difference in size. Twilight was able to walk in with ease, but Mous and you were both almost scraping the ceiling. The second thing you noticed was the presence of a pair of small ponies sitting at a small table off to the side. They looked like they were playing with some small toys on the table, but right now they were intensely looking at the two giants who walked into their home. Or rather, one giant in particular. You looked over your shoulder and saw Mous making silly faces to the young foals. The foals giggled at Mous's antics, and he took a few steps closer and knelt down. You left them to each other's company and turned to Twilight. She was watching the same scene you were.
Mous didn't seem like the kind of guy to get along with babies.
He probably just wants to be friends with somebody who won't beat him in an argument.
Some pony.
What?
What was she talking about?
I've never heard anyone say somebody. Everyone in Equestria says some pony.
Huh. You guess that makes sense. Different vernacular and all. Just then, a familiar pink pony came out to the counter.
Hey guys, are you here for your welcome party?
Not this time, Pinkie. They're just here to grab some food before they start fixing their house.
Great, what'll it be?
You looked at some of the food in the display. They were all cakes and sweets and other assorted confections. They all looked delicious, but they didn't look like something you wanted for breakfast before a day of work. You eventually settle on some bagels. You hear Mous walk up behind you from playing with the babies. He ordered some sweetbread.
Great, that'll be 10 bits.
Shit. You had no equestrian money. Your face fell as you realized you might have to work without food in you.
Oh, that reminds me.
Twilight levitates two small pouches to the two of you.
The princess sent that over last night. Each of you have 50 bits to spend until you get on your feet.
Wow, these princesses were really understanding to your situation. Wait, why is Mous smelling his pouch? You turn to stare at Mous, his nose still in his new wallet.
Dude, what the hell are you doing?
He removes his nose, but keeps staring at the pouch.
Mine smells like bananas.
Figuring that was the only explanation you'd get, you both paid for your food and followed Twilight outside, her leading you down the road to your house. When you weren't being rushed, you noticed that most of the other ponies in the town were staring at you. Thankfully, most of them only looked curious, as opposed to cautious. One mint green pony even looked ecstatic when she saw you. You chalked it up to this town being a bit less high profile than Canterlot. That reminded you, you still didn't know what this town was called.
Hey, Twilight. What's this town's name, anyway?
Our town's name is Ponyville, governed by Mayor Mare.
Ponyville and Mayor, definitely less high profile. You had both finished your food by the time you saw your house. From here, you could see the scorch marks Twilight was talking about. They weren't big, but they definitely made it look like your house had been through a lot when you came here. The three of you quickly decide on a triage system, make the house livable again, and worry about the rest of the mess later. You and Mous stepped inside to start the task of cleaning the mess your rooms were in. As Twilight started to work on getting you power outside, your room wasn't bad, only a single lamp had broken and most of the room was simply disheveled. Mous's room, on the other hand, was an entirely different matter. Each of the hundreds of little models kept around the room had been thrown on the floor, making it a sea of pissed-off-looking yellow figurines. You stepped back into your room and started straightening up. The mattress was righted first, followed by sweeping the broken lamp up. You would probably need a place to put anything that was broken. Spying a moving blanket that was perfect for your plan, you yell back to Mous.
Hey! Anything that's broken goes on the blanket out front!
The sound of things crashing to the ground came from his room.
Got it.
You worked for a few hours before you saw a rainbow streak moving across the sky from your window. The streak stopped a dozen yards out to reveal none other than Rainbow Dash. You opened the window to speak with her.
Stopping by to lend a hoof?
She flew closer and peeked in through the window.
It looks like you need it, dude. You guys didn't say your house got messed up so bad on the inside, too.
You should see what Mous has on his plate. Here, give me a hand with this if you're gonna help.
You grab your fallen curtain rod, and the curtains go up quickly thanks to the help of someone who can actually fly, giving you a hand. She even helps you carry a collection of splintered wood from furniture collisions out to the tarp. On your way out, you catch Mous carrying a long wooden tube down the hallway.
What the hell is that, dude?
He looks up at it and scans it with his eyes.
A didgeridoo.
He lowers the instrument and stares at it for a moment.
Why do we own a didgeridoo?
I don't know. It fell out of my closet.
Why are you taking it outside?
I don't want it. Maybe we can sell the thing.
He had a point. You both were gonna need money if you were going to stay here. After you finish in your room, Rainbow and you start working on the living room. Rainbow seemed particularly interested in your television.
You guys have TV here?
She flies around the TV, inspecting it.
Yeah, but nowhere near this big.
You were both interrupted by Twilight entering the room.
Okay, you guys should have power and water now.
You grab the remote and switch on the television. You're relieved to see that it turns on, even if it only showed static. You would have to look into whether ponies had cable or not. The work goes quickly with the addition of Twilight's magic. By nightfall, the entire apartment is looking good as new. It still stuck out like a sore thumb, however. You drag the tarp of junk inside. You'll see if you can do something with it tomorrow. You and Mous thank Twilight for everything she had done for you as she heads off for the night. Rainbow Dash was hovering in your living room near your DVD shelf.
So, this is the kind of movies they had where you guys come from, huh?
You sat down on your couch as she scanned the contents of the shelf.
Yep, a few of them anyway.
Rainbow stops and pulls out one to look at, a smile growing on her face.
Hey, wanna watch one?
You take a look at her choice. The Room! Great. You turn your head to Mous.
Movie night?
Mous walks into the kitchen and returns with junk food and booze.
Movie night.
Mous answers as he sits down next to you. And so ends your second night on a strange new world, watching movies with your newest friend and your oldest, and laughing the night away.